Hi, Aries. This is your reading for the time period of February 1st to February 29, 2020. For those of you who are new to my channel or you're just visiting, welcome to Amani's Lightwork, okay? Before I begin with your reading, I just want to say that I apologize for the delay. I know the other signs are up. It's you, Pisces, and Virgo, that are a little bit last minute. I've been, busy with work, a lot going on there. And I'm also a little under the weather. I still am. Just need to take my time to just get some rest in. Okay. So let's see what energies are coming through for you for February. I mean, some of the other signs that I put up may actually resonate with you if your energy is showing up in those readings. Also, one more thing I wanted to say is my Keys to Akasha section of my channel. If you do have inquiries, I have two email addresses, HassaniIfe777 at Gmail, IfeDivination777 at Gmail, and my IG. So please feel free to, if you have inquiries about Keys to Akasha, two new cases I have up are the Sarah Giargiou case. She was an aerialist for Cirque du Soleil, and I have Kobe Bryant's cases also covered. Okay, if you have inquiries, please feel free to send them. I know someone just sent me a few, so I will do my best to fit them into my schedule, make sure I get them done. Okay, so let's see what energies are coming through for you, Aries. Someone's hot. I'm getting the word hot for some reason. I don't know if this is like, that can mean any damn thing. Hot could be a hot person. Hot could be hot food, hot whatever. Or it's like the weather. It could be the weather where you are is hot. It could business deal getting hotter. When I said business deal, a business deal could be getting hotter. For whatever reason, a business deal is getting hotter. However, you metaphorically, like it's getting hot, meaning usually when people, I mean, I don't know how many of you know when people use the word hot to describe like a business deal, or when something is getting hot metaphorically, it means that what was secretive about it, what was secretive or what people deem to be secretive about it is no longer secretive. Or somebody, I get planning something like a vendetta. I don't know if that's a thought that you have. I don't know what kind of business deal that you're in, where like with a colleague or a business partner, where someone's going on with them, where the spirit is telling me that you have a business partner or like a coworker where they may be sharing, and it may be, I mean, it could be accidental or on purpose. They could be sharing something secretive that you do in a business deal, or they're sharing something secretive that only a select people know. They may be sharing something secretive that only a select few people know in like a workplace, or like in a private business deal of some kind, or they're sharing it with the wrong people. It just depends on what's going on there. So I'm getting this feeling of backing out. So if you have like a business partner, a coworker that is somebody slipping up, then you deem them to be messing up something. But I get Sag. So when I said that, someone's going with the Sag with that. And the same analogy, the same example that I just gave, it could be the Sag. It could be the Sagittarian energy that is revealing too much, but revealing too much to someone or some place or whatever it is that they're doing. Okay. All right, Aries. So Five of Swords energy, them. The Five of Swords energy is them. Who are the them are? It's air sign element. So it's if it's not only Sag, then it's an air sign element, like an Aquarian, a Libra, Gemini energies, but share too much information. So when I read through all the air signs, they share too much information. They could be, if it's not only Sag, those air sign elements could be involved. They're involved with Sag. The spirit just said they're involved with a Sag. But what's happening with them? It went away. What's happening with them is that they went away, but someone's going on with them where someone, I had a hookup kind of feeling. Someone's going on with the air sign element where you may have wanted keep someone distracted. You may have wanted one of the air sign elements to keep someone specific distracted. I don't know, this, it could be the Sag, by an earth sign. It could be the Sag, and it also could be the energy of an earth sign, like a Capricorn, a Virgo, a Taurus. They were hooked up to distract. So when I say that they were hooked up to distract, earth sign could have been hooked up to distract somebody, or you, or Sag, or whatever. But I feel that's what Aquarian was hired for. I do feel Five of Swords, that's what the Aquarian energy was hired for. I mean, you hire somebody to distract somebody. If this is like a three-way business deal between you, Aquarian, Capricorn, you, Aquarian, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarian doesn't belong in that situation. So Five of Swords, the Aquarian energy, whatever air sign, the Aquarian energy is coming through strongly because they don't belong in a situation but disappeared. And them disappearing, they don't want to deal with you anymore. Them disappearing is that they may not want to deal with you anymore. But I paid them good money. So the Five of Swords, I paid them good money to keep earth sign distracted, I paid them good money to do this, that, and the third. But why are they backing out? So them disappearing, they could be backing out if it's the air sign. You could have had that kind of interaction with a Gemini. You could have had that kind of interaction, but got tired of somebody. So when I hit Gemini, they just got tired of someone. So the same type of situation. I mean, you don't have to be paying anybody to set up somebody to hook up, whatever it is. You don't have to be necessarily doing that. That's just one part of some of this. The spirit is telling me that's just one part into how business still runs for some reason. Something may be odd about it. I get family. Something may be odd about it because if that is something that you're doing, your family members, another co-worker, another business partner may deem that to be odd. Why do you need, someone may be asking, a Libra may be asking, why do you need to pay somebody to do this, that, and the third? But it's the idea of it is that one reason for it is to protect identification. One reason for it is also to protect some type of identification. So it could be your identification, your IDs, your whatever it is, but tracking. So if something is going on with your IDs and information and tracking, you may not want that to happen. And that could be why the air sign element was hooked up. The air sign element that the spirit is saying that you hooked up to protect something, keep someone distracted. The person or a person that is in like a fellow partnership, business deal, in connection with yours, whatever it is, or it's just a person that the Aquarian energy, whatever air sign, was hooked up to keep distracted. That person could be responsible for sharing your information with other people that you may not want to share, but thinks that's happening. So when I hit that note, you think that that's happening. You think something like that is happening. And the Five of Swords energy. The Five of Swords energy is that you've got certain people designated to do a particular, you're sending a particular person off for some type of assignment or a hookup of some kind, for lack of a better term. You're calling it a hookup, or it's hooking up someone to do something specific just to protect what you have going on. But that's just one scenario. Or someone could just be leaving. The air sign element may just be leaving, and them just singular, the interactions that you're having, them just singular by themselves in terms of your interaction with them and Sag or an earth sign, leave them alone. The spirit is saying you may need to leave air sign element alone for some time, whatever. The starting point has the Four of Swords energy. So you got Five of Swords, Four of Swords energy. But when are they coming back? So Five of Swords, Four of Swords. When is the air sign element going to come back? Paperwork. When is the air sign element going to come back with my paperwork? The Aquarian energy left with parts or some of your... You could have given... That's what I just said. You could have given the air sign element some of your paperwork or copies of your paperwork, but it's for house. So the Four of Swords energy in the starting point, you could have given the air sign element copies of your paperwork, but it's for a house. They could be real estate, or they just know someone's going on with them. They may have a real estate tie, but that's why I hooked them up. They have a real estate tie, and excuse me, they have a real estate tie, and that could be why you hook them up to do something, but keeps disappearing. You hook them up to do something specific with your paperwork and houses and apartments and condos. That's one scenario, but they keep disappearing, but they don't want to get caught. They're disappearing all the time because they don't want to get caught with your paperwork, someone else's. They don't want to get caught with yours, and they also don't want to get caught with someone else's paperwork that the spirit is saying that you have copies of. And it could be earth sign energies and Sagittarian energies, but they willingly give. So the Sagittarian energy, they willingly give the air sign element copies of paperwork, or just their own this official copies or copies of your paperwork. But we need something that's going on here with a down payment. And that could be oh, I see what's going on here. It keeps telling me Aquarius, you gave the Aquarian energy either official or copies of your paperwork, your something going on with your paperwork, and possibly that of Sag, and what's it called, and Earth sign energy to put down in the house, and Earth sign energy paperwork or parts of. But that's how that something's going on here where you may not be supposed to be using Earth sign energy. Sag gave you. You may not be supposed to be using Earth sign energy paperwork. The Sagittarian energy gave you that paperwork. But what's happening here? You're finding the Aquarian energy, but keeps disappearing. Something's going on with them. They keep disappearing. You're giving them the paperwork, but what they're doing, or what they're being sent to do. That's why I said earlier on the reading what assignments. What they're being asked to do was to. I get lawyer also. You could be hooking them up to take your paper for protection, whatever it is you're trying to do. You're trying to send your paper off to them for one of two reasons. This is for down payments. They may be traveling out of state or across the country. They may be traveling to another province or town to have with your paperwork or signed Sagittarian energy paperwork to have a discussion with a lawyer to take that paperwork to a lawyer for the lawyer to hold that. Or another scenario is they're traveling downtown. That could be a situation. They could be going downtown, down south, wherever it is that they're going across the country, out west, wherever it is, out east, northeast, whatever it is they're doing with the paperwork that you gave them house. And though that's another scenario, they're doing that with a house. You're asking them to go meet, but to not make something hotter. Like I said from the beginning, you don't want to make something hot, so you're giving your information or sign information, Sag information to give to the Aquarian energy to take that to go meet with a real estate agent. And it could be in another state, province. The spirit said downtown. It could be down south. I want to live. You want to live down there. But you're trying to, one element here that's interesting is that you're trying to put down in someone else's name. You could be trying to put down a house in someone else's name. It just depends on what's going on here. And that's why you need the air sign element help, but they want to back out. You need them to do something like that that's interesting. That could be if you are paying someone to do that, that's would be really interesting. They may not understand why you can't do a Sag doesn't. They may not understand why you can't do something yourself as a Sag that doesn't understand why you can't do something yourself. Why do you need to hook up the Aquarian energies and whatever air sign to go travel across the country down south or up east or whatever to go put down on a house for you in someone else's name? But I'm trying to safeguard credit. So Four Swords, I'm trying to safeguard credit. That could be the voice of the Sag, but you may have the Four Swords. You could have asked the Sagittarian energy to do Aquarian job. You could have asked the Sagittarian energy to do the Aquarian energy's job. But you're thinking return late. You're thinking that Sag's gonna return late. You're thinking that what's it called? You're thinking that the Aquarian energy is going to return late. However you want to look at return late. You may want somebody to return at a specific time, not going to. You want them to return at a specific time, but they're not going to. So this could be a situation here where I'll go with this kind of interaction as being in your same home state, in your same town, in your same province, whatever country that you're in, and state, if this is US, and the state that you're in. You're giving somebody your paperwork to take downtown. I'll go downtown first, but not coming back. You're giving it to them potentially. Excuse me. You're giving it to them potentially, but they're not returning, not coming back to the next day. They're not returning. They're also not coming back to the next day. And that could be something that they... That could be you wanting them back at a certain time. That could be something that they text you. That could be something that they either text you, voicemail to you. That's something that they called you to tell you. I know you asked me to do this, that, and the third, but I'm not. I keep getting hot. I know that you asked me to return on this specific date. I know that you asked me to return at this specific time, but they can't do it for scared. They can't do it, or they don't want to do it because they're nervous or they're scared. And the hot feeling, the making something hot, the making something hotter is that the air sign element is. But the making something hot is either coming. I feel like you want them to come back early with something. I don't feel like they're telling you that they can't for whatever reason, or they're coming back late, making you paranoid. paranoid. They're coming back late from somewhere. It could be days later. It could be weeks later. It could be you want them to come back at 2 o'clock. They're coming back at 9 o'clock. Whatever. It's just it's some element about that. Some element about that is making somebody paranoid for some reason. That could be why. That could be why they keep disappearing. That could be why they keep disappearing from something that you want them to do. I don't know if they want you. They may want you to do that as well. They may want you to do something like that for them as well, but I feel like the spirit wants me to. I feel like the spirit is implying that it's you that is in heavily need. You heavily need something protected by a lawyer. You heavily need someone to carry and take your paperwork to somewhere so you can put down the house in someone else's name. It may not even be in someone else's name. It could just be that you. It could just be that someone. If this is putting down the house and renting an apartment or whatever it is you're doing with homes, if you are, then I just feel like somebody tired of doing something. Yes, that's one situation, but I just feel like somebody thinks you should do something yourself, and that could be where the doing something yourself could just, you're thinking that maybe that won't make a business deal harder. I mean, it just depends on the energy that's coming through, or it's the fact that you just gave someone to do that for you. You paid someone to do those kind of things for you, but mistake. So some part of that may be 5 of Swords, 4 of Swords. That's a mistake. It just depends on the energy that's coming through. It's interesting. The Tower energy is in the waiting position. So the Tower could be the sign of Scorpio. What Aquarian did. The Tower energy is what the Aquarian energy did. Whatever air sign. You may have had that same kind of situation going on with Geminis. They don't want to do it anymore. Every time I hit Gemini, something that you're doing with the Aquarian energy, you could have also, it's telling me something about instilling promises. You could have also done something like that with the Gemini. But the Gemini energy didn't want to do something anymore. Hence the reason for you finding. So you may be deeming the Aquarian energy to be lackadaisical. That's one scenario. But you're going to the Aquarian energy slipping up all the time. They're going to them and they keep slipping up. But the Tower energy here in the waiting position. The Tower energy here in the waiting position, it can literally be Tower energy. The Tower energy is what do you call it? The Tower energy being in the waiting position is just trusted business partner. It has something to do with a trusted business partner or someone, the spirit saying trusted business partner, deem Aquarian to be that way. You may have deemed Aquarian energy, whatever air sign, Gemini, you may have deemed them to be that way. You deem them to be a trusted friend. You deem them to be a trusted, one of those elements could even be a lawyer. You deem them to be that gave away information. So when I hit lawyer, a lawyer it could be an air sign or a Scorpio energy that's a lawyer, but the air sign element, they could be a lawyer. It could be a Libra that's a lawyer. Gemini energy is a lawyer, whatever. There's lawyer energy coming off of the 4 of Swords. If you're doing this, if you're giving your paperwork and things of that nature to a lawyer, the lawyer, for some reason, the lawyer could have given your information away, didn't ask them to do that. So the Tower energy in the waiting position, you didn't ask a lawyer to do that. The lawyer could have dispersed another firm. Your lawyer, if you do have a lawyer, they could have sent your information to a different law firm, but I didn't ask them to do that. 4 Swords energy, I didn't ask the air sign element. That could be a lawyer. Yes, that could be a possibility. I didn't ask them to send, but what did Sag do? So I didn't ask them to send my information to another law firm. But something's going on here. What did a Sag do? What kind of discussion did a Sag have with a... Oh, I see what's going on here. I see there's 2 different situations of split scenarios going on here. One scenario, okay, I see what's going on here. One scenario is you're giving the Aquarian, whatever, air sign, Gemini, whatever. You're giving the air sign element your paperwork to do this, that, and the third that you asked them to do, but had conversation with Sag first. That's what I'm trying to get to. So the air sign element had a conversation with the Sagittarian energy first. So what's happening here is that your list of to-do, your specific list of to-do that you're giving the air sign, they're not following it. So the list of to-do that you gave the air sign element, they're not following it, Sag, what do you call it? They're following the Sagittarian energies, to-do list, and the Sag pulled the air sign elements aside, take his or her information. I keep getting down. Like, I don't know if this is like down south, downtown, downstairs, whatever it's take downstairs in the building, could be happening in a job, in somebody's office, workplace. Take The Sag is pulling the air sign element, Aquarian, whatever. They're pulling the air sign element aside. Take this information. Take this information. What do you call it? Take it down south. Go travel down. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you car fare. I'm gonna give you train fare. I'm gonna give you plane fare. To it could be assistance. That it could be the air sign element is like an assistant to you and a Sag, or just a Sag assistant, just your assistant. But we share them. So just you and a Sag assistant, we share. You share an air sign element. You deem it they're like an assistant to you and the Sag, whatever situation is there. But something's going on where the list of to do that you gave them, they're not following. But what's happening, they're already having an interaction with a Sag. The Sag pulled them aside, change course. The Sag pulled the air sign element aside to tell the air sign element change course. Change course, change some type of course, change course. I don't want you, don't listen to him, meaning you. The Sag voice to the Aquarian energy, the Sag voice to the Gemini, whatever. The Sag voice to one, the air sign. Don't listen, meaning you. Don't listen to you. Don't listen to you. I want you to do this instead, but has their paperwork also. So the air sign element has the Sagittarian energies or copies or official copies of the the air sign element has the Sagittarian energies paperwork as well. But why not do what I asked for first? So when I said that, you're asking, it could be like an outward question. Why not take care of what I asked for first? You're wondering why somebody's coming back late. You're wondering why it isn't returning at all. You're wondering why somebody isn't returning at all. But they're not returning. That could be potential. They're not returning at all. Not answering phone calls. They're not answering phone calls. They're not answering texts. They're not returning at all. But Sag already pulled them aside. The Sag already pulled them aside and said change course. Don't listen to him or her, meaning you, that if he or she said to do this, that, and the third, to take it to this, that, and the third lawyer, take it to this, that, and the third real estate agent, take it to this, that, and the third law firm and things of that nature. But confused. So the air sign element may end up being confused. By either the Sag or you. They don't understand, make up your mind. They're confused by you. One scenario is that they're confused by you, and they're confused by why Sag pulled them aside. They're confused also by why a Sagittarian energy pulled them aside to have that conversation with them. Don't change course. I'm confused. I don't understand. The Aquarian energy's voice, whatever air sign, I don't understand why you asked me, and I don't understand why you asked me to do this, that, and the third precisely. Then you have your love partner. Pulling your love partner starting to pull me aside and tell me to change course. Don't go downtown. Don't come back. Somebody could have said to someone, don't come back. But it's annoying. So when I said it's annoying, it could be something about that. When I hit that note, something about that Aquarius, something about that could be annoying to the Aquarian. It depends, or whatever air sign, Libra, the Aquarian is coming through strongly because something about them, they're in the middle of a business deal, like they're in the middle of it, and all that is Tower energy there, the angst to pass. So the Tower energy in the waiting position, you're waiting for angst to pass. You got angst with some type of miscommunication. But it's not really miscomputer. I would say computer. It's not what do you call it? It's not what do you call that? What did I just say just now? It's not a form of miscommunication. You told someone to do something precisely. It's just that a Sag intervened. The Sag intervened. The Sag pulled the air sign, Aquarian energy, whatever air sign, they pulled them aside. That's why I said Gemini energy annoyed. But what Aquarian is doing, the Gemini energy is annoyed because of what the Aquarian energy is doing. If you listen to the Gemini energy could have pulled the Aquarian energy aside, give back paperwork. The Gemini could have pulled the Aquarian energy aside, telling the Aquarian energy pull back, yes, give back paperwork. Send that paperwork to this, that, and the third place. But that's how a lawyer is getting involved, or that's how information that you don't want dispersed to some type of law firms, like a different law firm. Somebody's trying to do that. A Gemini could be trying to do that, but it's either a Sag or a Gemini that pulled the Aquarian energy, change course. It's a Sag or a Gemini that pulled the Aquarian energy aside to tell them to change course. So a Libra could be involved there as well, but don't want to be. A Libra is behind the scenes. They don't want to be involved. Or they just observe what Gemini, they may just observe the kind of interactions that a Gemini energy has with an Aquarian energy. It depends on the energy that's coming through. So before I go any further, this is a situation so it sounds clear. I mean, it may be clear, not clear. The situation is that you've got like paperwork, or you're giving like you're giving an Aquarian energy a list of to do, but there's people that are intervening with that. As simple as that. There's people that are interfering with that list of to do that you gave the air sign. So what's happening here is that they may not be giving you the heads up that they're changing course, but they're also not telling you. The reason for that also is that they're not telling you that they were asked to change course by Sag and Gemini. And someone's confusing, why isn't somebody coming back with my paperwork? Where they going my things? Whatever it is. Some law enforcement could be involved here as well. Fearing that. Law enforcement may be involved here as well. And that could be something that you're fearing. That's why I said paranoid. But they are. Paranoid, the air sign element is. The air sign element is paranoid. Or they're nervous. Or they're confused. Well, Sag. They're confused by Sag. Are you confused by Sag? I mean, you may be confused by Sag because of the reason. You may be confused by Sag because of the reason into why the reason why they pull your assistant aside, your friend aside, your I don't say cousin, your friend aside, your business partner aside that's separate from them, or the spirit also said that you're in communicate. The Sag is you pretty much share a business partner that is the air sign element with the Sag, but the Sag just mess up something. The Sag doesn't want you to mess up something. The Sag doesn't want the air sign element to mess up something. May not want somebody to get caught, whatever they because someone may be sloppy about what the air sign element does with that. Just regular communication with how to relay, just carrying paperwork, but somebody's doing something extra, taking it to another law firm, and that could be something that could be either something that a Sag wanted, or I feel like that's something that you don't want to happen. I feel like that's an interaction that you don't want to see happen. But it's because of precise instructions that were given to one of the air sign elements. But they talk amongst themselves a confusion. They talk amongst themselves about confusion. Or something that you need done. Something that you need done specifically, they may not understand. Or they have conversations with the Sag and about changing course and taking something elsewhere. But a tower energy in the waiting position could also be the sign of Scorpio going to them. So the sign of Scorpio is in a waiting position because you may need to have a conversation with the Scorpio, but knows Aquarian. The Scorpio that you're tied to, they know an Aquarian energy that you're dealing with, that you do business with. They may be friends. The Scorpio may be friends to the Aquarian energy, but likes someone. So when I said that they like someone, they may like you, or the Scorpio may like one of the air sign elements. You know what I mean? Like an external sign. The Scorpio likes an external sign that you're dealing with here, and that could be it has something to do with a relation. Yes, that's one scenario, and that could be why Aquarian. That could also be why the Aquarian energy left a situation as well. That could be why an Aquarian. Oh, I see what's going on here. I see what's happening here. Earlier on in the reading with Earth sign paperwork, the air sign element, they one scenario is the air sign element Capricorn paperwork. The air sign element also has copies of Capricorn, whatever Earth sign has copies of Capricorn energy paperwork, whatever Earth sign, Taurus paperwork, whatever it is, but they get stolen from. So when I hit Taurus paperwork, the Taurus may get stolen from, or Capricorn, they may get stolen from whatever Earth sign. But what's happening, you have copies of the Earth sign energy gave to Aquarian. You have copies of those things, but it's the Earth signs, but has a new lover. So when I keep saying Earth sign, they have a new lover. The air sign element undercover lover. The air sign element, one of the air sign elements could be an undercover. One of the air sign elements could be an undercover lover to the Earth that you're taking from. They could be an undercover lover to one of the Earth sign energies that you're taking from. So an Aquarian energy could be a lover to a Capricorn. An Aquarian energy, whatever air sign, Gemini could be that to Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, but has their paperwork. Every time I go on these examples, the air sign elements has the Earth sign energy paperwork, but someone's going on likes Capricorn. Someone's going on here with the Scorpio. The Scorpio, you're starting to realize that's what a force source energy is here. Connected to Aquarian. The Scorpio is connected to the Aquarian, but told them to change course. the Scorpio element told, or that it could be them that pulled pull the air sign element aside, but multiple scenarios. So when I said that there's multiple cases of that happening. There's multiple scenarios here where first one situation here is a Gemini energy that pulled Aquarian energy aside. Don't go to this, that, and third place that you asked them to go. Then there's a Sag element did the same thing with Aquarian. The Sag element did the same thing with Aquarian. Then there's something going on here where the air sign elements that you're hooking up to do this, that, and the third like Capricorn. They like Capricorn. That's why I said undercover lover a Scorpio is. A Scorpio could be a Scorpio, but used to like them. You may have used to like Scorpio. But something wrong with the Scorpio is either the Scorpio, like I keep getting likes Capricorn. The Scorpio likes Capricorn. Or something going on with the Scorpio, like they could be an undercover lover to one of the air sign, but likes Capricorn. They're like an undercover lover to the air sign elements, but the Scorpio also likes the Capricorn, but has their information. The Scorpio may have Capricorn energy information, whatever earth sign, that Taurus information. Virgo, the Scorpio has copies of the Scorpio has copies of the earth sign energy information, but Aquarian gave. So when I said that the Aquarian energy gave the Scorpio, oh, I see what's happening here. I see what's going on. That's why the Five of Swords and Four of Swords, but didn't realize deception. The Five of Swords with the Four of Swords, you're not realizing some type of deception where you've got a business partner that you deem to be like an assistant. You're paying them, you're not paying them, but you're giving them copies. I keep getting deception or deceived. You're giving them copies of earth sign and Capricorn, Taurus, whatever. You're giving them copies of earth sign energy information, this, that, and the third, but secretly help Scorpio. They're secretly helping a Scorpio that likes. They're secretly helping a Scorpio that likes Capricorn, but they didn't know that, and you didn't know that. That's why the Scorpio energy is here. But what's happening here is that you're tired of helping you. So the Four of Swords, the air sign element, may be tired of helping you, but what's happening with it is that they're helping the Scorpio. Yes, they're helping the Scorpio. They didn't want them to do that. They're helping the Scorpio behind the scenes. You didn't want them to do that, and that could be why the Sagittarian energy is trying to catch them before they can get to, but it's too late. The Sagittarian energy may be trying to catch them before they have some type of interaction with the Scorpio, but the spirit said that something about that interaction may be too late. So what's happening, before I go any further, what's happening here is that that's why I said putting down a house and taking something to a lawyer and real estate agents and this, that, and the third. It's some part of it is with the earth sign energy information. You're asking the air sign element to do this, but they gave it to Scorpio. You're asking them to do this, and they're giving it to Scorpio. Hence the reason for the potential paranoia. That's why early on in the reading, the paranoia. Why is somebody coming back so late? Why is someone, Five of Swords, why is someone not coming back at all? I asked them to take this paperwork downtown. I asked them to take this paperwork to the law firm. I asked them to take it to. I asked them to take it to, I asked them to take it to this real estate agent, this, that, but gave to Scorpio. Whatever you ask the air sign elements to do, some is deceptive. They're giving that information to a Scorpio, protects earth sign. The Scorpio protects earth sign, and they're playing along with you. The Aquarian energy, whatever air sign, they're playing along with you. They may have been helping you with that for a while already. Something like that, but they may have remorse for earth sign. This depends on what's going on, and you're asking them to go to point A. They're going to point B, meet Scorpio. You're asking them to go to point A with some type of information, but they're going to point B to go meet Scorpio with that stuff. So the Scorpio may protect Earth, Capricorn's files, Taurus file. The Scorpio may protect Earth sign energy's files, their information, their IDs that you hungrily want. You want that stuff. Tax papers, whatever. Taxes could be involved in here as well. The Aquarian energy holds that. So the Aquarian energy holds Earth sign energy tax paper. And something there, they're trying to give it to Scorpio. But that's a secretive way. I shouldn't have paid. You could have paid somebody to do something for you precisely. But the spirit is like, you shouldn't have paid. Why did you pay? Why are you paying someone to do that? If you are, or that could be excuse me. That could be the voice to the Sag. That could be the voice to the Sag to you, but making something strange. So what I said, if that's the voice of the Sag to you, it's something about it. It's something about that. It's making something strange for some reason. Okay. The present has the Five of Wands, the argument. So the Five of Wands is arguing with Sag element. It is your energy and that of Leos, and but they don't want to be involved. It's your energy and that of Leos and Sag, and arguing with these elements here. That has conversation with Scorpio. So the Five of Wands, the Leo, Sag, whatever, they pulled Scorpio element aside to have a conversation with them. Capricorn stuff. The fire sign energy is external. There could be another Aries element. There could be another Aries element involved here as well, or it's the Sag and Leo. They pull Scorpio element. Give me the paperwork. They pulled Scorpio element aside. They pulled the Scorpio element aside. Give me his or her paperwork, but it's copies. So that could be the Scorpio's voice. That could be the Scorpio's voice to Sag. The Scorpio's voice to you. The Scorpio's voice to Leo. But I also was getting the Leo don't want to be involved. But they tired of handling something. The Leo, every time I say Leo, the Leo is tired of handling something. It could be handling your business. But they're annoyed by who you hooked up, or they're annoyed by who you hired as an assistant, or someone to just do this, that, and the third for you. Deems them to be rude. The Leo deems someone that you hooked up from the beginning, the Aquarian, the Gemini, whatever air sign, they deem, Libra, whatever. The Leo deems them to be, deems the air sign elements that you found, but found them online. The fire sign energy, like the Leo, they deem an air sign element. They deem an air sign element that you hooked up to do this, that, and the third. They deem them to be rude to Scorpio. Those elements, one of those air sign elements may be rude to a Scorpio. They may be rude to them, but something's going on with the fire sign energy hunting down Scorpio. They may be trying to hunt down the Scorpio, but also rude to. They're also rude to them. Is a Scorpio rude to them? But want somebody's paperwork. The Scorpio may be rude to them, but I don't really deem. I mean, I don't really think that would be rudeness. I just feel like the Scorpio's trying to do good by somebody. They're just trying to do right, but they may have aggressively Sag. They may have aggressively approached a Sag or whatever fire sign. They aggressively approach you. But the reason for them aggressively approaching you in Sag and Leos, the Leo backing out, the Leo don't want to deal. The reason for them doing that is because they protected earth sign energy files and paperwork, but doesn't understand why something is happening the way it is. So the Scorpio doesn't understand why something is happening the way it is. You're arguing with them. Why do you need? You're arguing with the Scorpio. Why do you need? That's either their voice yelling back at you. That's their voice, Sag. That's their voice yelling at a Sag. Something maybe end up crazy here. Something's going on here. Something here is crazy. Something here is like an element of craziness between business partners and co-workers, and dispersing earth sign energy to Scorpio. Dispersing earth sign energy things to Scorpio. The Scorpio element, for some reason, the Tower energy with Five of Swords is that you don't, for some reason, one element here is that this is business. One element about this, and love could also be intertwined here, but one element about this is that you don't know that the Aquarian energy knows a Scorpio, and you giving the air sign element or sign energy information, they're giving that information back to the Scorpio. The Scorpio, you're finding out because of Leo. You're finding out that the Scorpio was given earth sign energy information and things by the air sign element. So what's happening, Five of Wands in the present, what's happening here with that is that the Leo is trying to give Scorpio coming. The Leo's trying to give you the heads up. The Scorpio's on their way. The Scorpio's about to yell at you. The Scorpio call you out. The Scorpio's about to call you out. The Scorpion's about to call the Sag out. Whatever. Somebody may, if this isn't like aggressive behavior, if this isn't necessarily aggressive behavior, then it's then literally call somebody. The Scorpio's about to call you. The Scorpio about to call Sag. The Sag about to call Scorpio for this, that, and the third, but doesn't know they know Aquarian. So when I said that you don't know this Scorpio, you do it, or you do not, or they something about the Scorpio, they don't know something about Aquarian, or they don't know the Aquarian. Readings are broad. So however the communication is, I was swindled. However the communication is, I was swindled. You're saying that you were swindled by an air sign element, the Sag. I feel, but didn't do something on purpose. The Sag didn't do something on purpose. The Leo, they may not have done something on purpose, but didn't know someone knew the Scorpio. So the Scorpio mystery person. The Scorpio is like something about the Scorpio is like a mystery person in this case. Whatever it is happening. The Four of Cups energy is in the future. Okay. And the instincts has the Eight of Pentacles energy, Earth sign. The Eight of Pentacles energy is like you're working hard with the Earth sign. Truth about you. You're working hard to find out truth about Earth sign. But why? Either something's going on with them. Why they comply? Why aren't they complying? Or you're trying to get air sign to get them to get air sign to get the Earth sign energy to comply. Get Aquarian energy to get Capricorn to comply. Taurus, Virgo to comply. They don't want to. So Eight of Pentacles, the Earth sign energy doesn't want to comply with you. Do they not want to comply with air sign? That's why they left. The earth sign energy may not be complying with air sign, and that could be why air sign element left. That's why Gemini left. That's why Aquarian energy left. Scared of earth sign. They left because they're scared of the earth sign, and that's something that they keep doing around somebody all the time. Or somebody just knows your hookup. Someone just knows about your hookup. But they play along with them. So when I said that the earth sign energy plays along with the Aquarian, they play along with Gemini, they play along with Libra, whatever air sign, they play along with them all the time. But something about that is strange. Something about that also is strange to you. Like, that could be why the Tower energy is here. Something about that is strange. You deem something about that to be odd, whatever it is. But the Eight of Pentacles, it was not only earth sign. I want their things. You want the earth sign energy things. You want their, it could be stuff, like literally things that belong to somebody. If it's not information like documents and IDs and birth certificates and W-2s, it is not I hungrily need. When I hit W-2s, I hungrily need. You hungrily need your own. I mean, you may be trying to go after your own, but someone doesn't want you to have it. You could be trying to go after your own. The Tower energy, someone may not want, because you took something from someone else. Someone may not want you to have your own W-2 because you've taken something from someone else, if you are. Or somebody just trying to take it from you. Or you ask somebody to go get it for you, go get earth sign, and they're disappearing. You didn't know they were pulled aside by Scorpios, and Scorpio already given that information and documents and things already. They protect Earth sign, but can't stand that. So when I said that, you can't stand that. You can't stand that Scorpio help Earth sign. Whatever that could be why that's why the Five of Wands energy is here. Deceptive air sign. The Five of Wands energy is in the present because of deceptive air signs. For whatever reason, the air sign elements are deceptive with your own things, your own to-do list, your own whatever, or something that you need that belongs to earth sign that you hook them up to go get. They're not getting it. And Leo annoyed. When I hit that, Leo is annoyed by something there. The Leo's annoyed by some type of interaction there for some reason, or the Sag is. Or it's the Sag's fault why Aquarian not listening. This is Sag's fault why an Aquarian energy is not listening. That's why the Tower energy is there. Or the reason why the Aquarian energy changed course. The reason why somebody this could even be college. The reasons why somebody could have registered for classes, whatever. There could be college involved here. More so information. College involved here. It's more so, it could be college, something interesting going on in college with people's information as well. You know? Changing course. Changing a course. Or just changing course. You're giving somebody direct instruction and they're changing course, but the reason for it is that they were pulled aside. The reason for it is that you're not realizing that they were pulled, Gemini. You're not realizing that someone was pulled aside by Geminis and Scorpios and Sag for whatever reason. You're like, I need my things. Not going to get. I need my things as well. You're not going to get. But given to Scorpio. So something about your stuff as well could have been given to a Scorpio. They could have been out of spite. It could have been given to a Scorpio out of spite. It was somebody, or the air sign element could have done that out of spite. You may have done something really odd with them and they gave your stuff to Scorpio. And I don't want them to have. Five of Wands, arguing with the air sign, arguing with Sag and Leos. I don't want them to have. You know? Wow. The accomplishment has the Ten of Swords energy. So it's a lot of heavy energy. I felt like this was heavy, deceptive. I keep getting deceptive air sign. The air sign are really deceptive. But they're just, some element about them doesn't matter. Some element about them being deceptive doesn't really matter. Because something about what you need belongs to somebody else. What you need belongs to somebody else. But stop asking. So the Ten of Swords and the accomplishment, stop asking the air sign for something. Stop asking the Aquarian energy for something. Are they asking you for something? Are they asking you for something all the time? They may be at Scorpio information. The air sign element could be asking you for Scorpio's information. The air sign could be asking you for that, and you could have given return in favor, like Aquarian's reading. That you could have taken something, papers, whatever. You could have taken some type of information from Scorpio, and that could be why the Scorpio returned the favor and taking your assistant away, whatever. Or that could be why something that you need that belongs to Earth sign, you're instilling that privately in air sign element. You're instilling that privately, but you're not realizing that the air sign or the air sign elements know a Scorpio energy that you take from. And the Scorpio is returning the favor. The Scorpio is returning the favor by what do you call it? The Scorpio is returning the favor by pulling the air sign element aside, but that's how they get their paperwork back. They're pulling the air sign element aside. That's a tactic that they use on the air sign element to get their own paperwork back. They're getting their own paperwork back that you took it or you didn't take it, or some whatever it is going on, or it's the earth sign energy stuff that they communicated with the air sign element that you hooked up to do that and third, that they it's now in the Scorpio, but loves Capricorn. It's now in the Scorpio's possession. They love Capricorn. They love Taurus. They love the earth sign. They protect the earth sign. So you're hooking up someone to be a potential assistant to you, that you're not is connected to someone someone that you're finding randomly. That's why I said online. Someone that you're finding randomly. You don't know, but do research. You may not have done research first. Someone that you're finding randomly to do some type of assistant like work for you. They're already connected to someone that you took something from, but you don't know that. And what's happening, you're relaying what you want done precisely. And what you want, or what you want done precisely, all that is getting relayed to Scorpio element. All that is getting relayed to the Scorpio element. But you did something interesting with the Scorpio element's things at one point, but should apologize to. So the Scorpio element you should apologize to. Earth sign you should apologize to, but won't. So when I said you won't, why won't you apologize to Earth sign? Well, oh my goodness. The Six of Wands energy is in the spiritual self right next to the Scorpio. So, someone may need to apologize to you. It could be the air sign. You know, like this could be, if you don't necessarily need earth sign things, it could just be the air sign elements that stole something from you. But again, so if they did something interesting like that with your things, they did it again. They may have. That's why the Ten of Swords there, right next to their. This all their energy is here. It's like they may have done, but that could be what the fire sign. That could be what the fire sign energy is trying to tell you. So somebody's not coming back. They could be taking your things for their own benefit, and that could be why. That could be why you could be hooking up a fire sign, and they don't want to do. Trying to hook up a fire sign energy to track down air sign. They don't want to do. They may not want to do that. But the Six of Wands energy in the spiritual self, right next to getting them to comply. The Six of Wands next to the Scorpio, you may be trying to get the Scorpio to comply with something. You're trying to get them to comply. Information. Can you give me earth sign thing? They're not going to give you. Can you give me earth sign thing? They're not going to give you. Can you give me information on where air sign Aquarian energy went? Can you give me information on Gemini? Whatever. Can you give me information on what's happening with my own things? You're thinking that they're not going to give you. Whatever it is. You're thinking that they don't want to for whatever reason. Because somebody may be aware of a tactic that you have with their own things, with earth sign things. Air sign shouldn't have hooked up. When I hit air sign, you shouldn't have hooked them up to do something if you did. This depends on. But the Six of Wands also in the spiritual self. The Six of Wands in the spiritual self also really certain about something. You could be really certain about your communication with a Scorpio. But every time I say that, you don't know they know Aquarian. You don't know they know whatever air sign. You don't know that Scorpio does. You don't know that they do. Something about them or whatever it is. Or you don't know earth sign you're tied to. You don't know that they are tied to earth sign energy that you have some type of interest in dealing with. You don't know that they are already tied to them. But it could be an interconnection. It could be like some type of interconnection between jobs and business deals and in the state, in the province and town that you live in with these energies. But you don't know where you're hooking up people. You're hooking up people to do something that may not be right about it. But that person is tied to someone that deceived you in the past. That person is also tied to someone that deceived you in the past. Vice versa. Whatever it is. I started to do research and those kind of things. The Three of Cups energy is in the mentality, gossip. The Three of Cups is gossip about earth sign. Three of Cups is water sign energy. They don't want to be involved. Water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That Scorpio is here. So they may end up gossiping. But their love for someone. So Three of Cups with the Scorpio, their love for someone. Their love for somebody. Their love for earth sign. Their love for the air sign. Whatever, something going on with love. It could be love for one of the fire sign energies. But don't like them. The Scorpio love for fire sign, they don't like them. The Leo don't like Scorpio. I don't know. It could be an external Aries don't like Scorpio. An external Aries doesn't like Scorpio. Sag, do they not like anymore? They may not like Scorpio anymore. But the Scorpio fell in love with earth sign. When Scorpio fell in love with earth sign, they fell in love with Capricorn. You trying to take something from the Virgos and Taurus? They love them. They love them. They love those earth signs for whatever reason. For whatever, it's interesting to me because fame. Something's going on with fame also. It's something about the earth sign becoming famous. Something about the earth sign is becoming famous. But I'm looking at the tower energy. Something's going on with envy. So the Scorpio may be envious of that. The Scorpio may end up envious of that for some reason. Is something going on with you with fame? Is the Scorpio envious? Is the Scorpio becoming famous? And however you want to look at fame. Is the Scorpio becoming famous with earth sign? The Scorpio may end up becoming famous with earth sign. However you want to look at famous. Or famous, like, could be good or bad famous. Somebody could be becoming some good or bad fame. It just depends on what's going on there. And someone is interesting. But that's why air sign disappeared. So something going on with somebody's fame or attention that somebody's receiving, whatever it is. That's something about that could also be why the air sign elements disappeared. That's also why the Aries, but that's why I hooked them up for. You hooked them up to find out something about, you hooked them up to find out what Capricorn is doing. You hooked them up to find out what Capricorn is doing, like with their jobs, with something is fame, like with the earth sign. But I'm annoyed. Something's wrong with fame with the earth sign, and you're annoyed. Something about their fame is annoying you for some reason. But someone's also going, that's what the air sign, that's why the air sign element was hooked up. But that's also why the air sign element disappeared. That's why they disappeared also. You could have been trying to gather, you could have hooked up the air sign element to gather information. I keep getting what Capricorn is doing. You also hooked up the air sign element just to find out what the Capricorn energy, but I have their things. You have their things, but you also want to know what they're doing constantly all the time, and that's what the air sign element was hooked up for. But Sag told them to leave the earth sign energy alone. That's the reason earlier on in the reading, because they either have earth sign energy thing you gave them, or you have earth sign. That's why they were hooked up. You have earth sign energy thing, and that's why the air sign was hooked up. But they were asked to disappear, or they disappeared on their own. But I keep getting fame. Someone just disappeared on their own because of somebody's fame. Someone's gone with fame. Like it's like I don't know. It's interesting. But I also touch the Scorpio element. It could be your fame. That could be why somebody's acting really interesting. It could be something going on with you and your own fame. For whatever reason, you have some type of fame. Whatever it is that's going on there. Or it's the earth sign. But they keep disappearing from. The air signs keep disappearing from the earth sign. And the Scorpio loves earth because of fame. The Scorpio loves the earth sign because of fame. But I was also getting envy. They have an undercover feeling of. The Scorpio has an undercover feeling of envy with Capricorn and Taurus and Virgos. They have an undercover feeling of envy. But they, at the same time, they love someone. But they're thinking that they could be famous with the earth sign energy. But how to contact? So when I said that they're thinking that they would be famous with the earth sign, and their voice is how to contact. But I was relayed that information. So when I said that I was relayed that information, I was relayed that information. I was relayed that Scorpio in love with Capricorn. The Scorpio want to work with Capricorn. I was relayed that whatever earth sign that the Scorpio is really in love with somebody for some reason, but wants someone to like be, what do you call it? Wants somebody to be their like, what do you call that? They want someone to be lover. They want someone to be their lover. Do they want you to? But that's why I hooked up Aquarian. They may want you. They want some earth sign to be their lover subconsciously. They subconsciously want someone to be their lover. But there's also that's one situation here. That's also why Aquarian left. Then there's a situation here where they undercover want to be your lover subconsciously. They do it or do not. That's what Aquarian energy was hooked up for, either to leave or stay or whatever. Depart from somewhere. but doesn't want them with Capricorn. So the Scorpio doesn't want the Aquarian energy with Capricorn. They don't want Aquarian energy with Taurus, Virgo. They don't want the Aquarian, whatever air sign, Gemini, Libra. They don't want the air signs with Earth sign. Jealous. When I said that, they may be jealous of that bond that the air sign has with Capricorn, but did something mystically. So when I said that the Scorpio did something mystically, they did something mystically. Did you do something mystically? Did somebody do something mystically here? Earth sign, did they? But you knows how to use mysticism. The Earth sign knows how to be. They know how to utilize something mystically. But that's what left. That's why the air signs left. That's also why the air signs left. Scorpio could have done in some type of invocation. The Scorpio could have done some type of invocation. Like they did some type of incantation, some type of invoking of whatever, invocation of some kind. But it's mystical that wanted to separate. They wanted to, either they want you separate from air sign. They may want you. They may not want you to deal with the air sign. Did something mystically. They themselves don't want you to deal with the air sign elements anymore. They may have done something mystically, or they want to be with Capricorn. They want to be with Capricorn. So they did something mystically to the bond the air sign got with the Capricorn. But something strange. Every time somebody doing something mystically there behind the scenes, something strange about it. But in one scenario is someone's in love with someone, somebody's envious and jealous, but that implies that heavily in love with. They're heavily in love with somebody. They're becoming heavily in love with someone, but it's mystical that they are. Wow. That's interesting. Somebody's using something mystically. I mean, I actually have not gotten that kind of energy in a while with people trying to utilize something mystically. Your reading is the first that I've done in a while that I'm actually picking that back up again. People are mystical here. Scorpio mystical. Whatever. For whatever reason, they want to do something mystically. To separate, they could be trying to do something mystically to. That could also be why Earth sign may not share certain things with you or Scorpio or air sign. Somebody's aware. Somebody uses mysticism heavily on bonds and business deals and whatever it is. That could be you that's doing that, or you could be learning how to do it. 3 of Cups in the mentality there, but secrets. The 3 of Cups in the mentality is secrets, some type of secretive thing. And it could be about what I just said. Scorpio, feeling, love. The King of Pentacles energy is in changing position. So it could be Capricorn male. Scorpio likes. Capricorn male, Scorpio likes. Virgo male. Taurus male. Whatever it is that's going on with them. You know? I keep getting want their things. I'm looking at them. You want their things. Like, it can literally be things. Like objects or it's information. Something you want their things. So whatever it is that they have. You want their stuff. For whatever reason you want their things. They could have been living with you, you know, or they're working with you. Could be cubicle-like setting, you know. Whatever it is. Could be a cubicle that somebody was occupying. Or they could have been they could have just been in a business deal. You know. But they're in a changing, doesn't work somewhere anymore. They're in a changing position. They don't work somewhere anymore. But you're gonna have air signs to get their stuff, whatever it is. You're gonna have air sign elements to do that, but they keep disappearing all the time because they're tired of seeing they're just tired of seeing something that you're doing. Oh, that's the Scorpio's voice. That could be the Scorpio's voice, whatever it is, whatever you need from them all the time. The 5 of Pentacles is going towards the 4 of Cups energy. But Earth signs know a lot. So 5 of Cups, Earth signs know a lot. Earth sign male. Could also be female. I was getting this feeling of female. The Earth signs know a lot. All the Earth sign energy. That's why the 4 of Cups. That's what Pisces said. 4 of Cups, that's what Pisces said. Scorpio said. Or somebody a feeling that Scorpio has. Someone just aware of a feeling a Scorpio has. And that could be leaving. That could also be why King of Pentacles is leaving. Temporarily or permanently. You know? They're just aware of a feeling and they're aware of a feeling you have. They're aware of what air sign elements are doing. They're aware of Scorpio. They're aware whatever is the earth sign energy is aware of. They could also be female, but I feel like it's male. Females stay. I feel like the females stay somewhere. I just feel like but Scorpio doesn't, someone's going out with the Scorpio with this, it doesn't really like, Scorpio may not really like King of Pentacles. Scorpio may not really like them. But I feel like it's the female stay. I feel like it's the females that are earth signs that stay. But the males may leave. The males may leave. It just depends on what's going on there with information and things and needing this, that, and the third. Air signs getting pulled aside by Sag and Leo don't want to deal and Gemini is annoyed and whatever it is going on that's interesting. Scorpio's being in love. Female is in love with the female Earth sign. Could be the male as well. Scorpio's in love with the female Earth sign, whether they're male or female. However, love doesn't have to be like sex love. Love, like, just love somebody. You know, and something about that. Some of the Eight of Pentacles with the Three of Cups energy. That's what I'm talking about. Three of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. That's what you're talking about, pertaining to water sign and Earth sign bond. But I keep getting they did something mystically, so. Somebody did something mystically to even get that to happen. It just depends on what's going on here. Or someone's just going on with you. Someone's going on with it used to like. You used to like Scorpio. But they're helping someone that they're behind the scenes of helping someone that you don't want helped. Or someone's going with the air sign elements with your things. Somebody returned the favor behind the scenes with your stuff. You wanting can't leave. You want the King of Pentacles energy to leave somewhere. Workplace, business deal, wherever. I keep getting the females stay. The females stay. The males leave for whatever reason. But it could be knowledge of what you're doing with their stuff. It's knowledge of what you're doing with their things. Are they doing something with your? That's why they're leaving. They could be doing something with your things, and that could be why. That could be why they're leaving. That could be why they're leaving. The secret of dealing the King of Pentacles has with Aquarian, Gemini, whatever air sign. They have a secret of dealing with them. But you don't know that as well. And that could be something that Scorpio knows. Wow. Alright, let's look for an outcome here, Aries. The Knight, they're coming back. So the Knight of Swords, the air sign element is coming back. You thought they weren't going to come back, whatever. But where's my things? When I said that, where's my things? Where are sign things? You think you could be asking them for earth sign? You could be asking them for earth sign energy thing. But they could have taken it to the Scorpio. That's why the Four of Cups is in the future. They could have taken it to the Scorpio. Or whatever water Pisces. That's what I said. The Pisces has information on some type of bond a Scorpio has with the earth sign. Whatever. The Scorpio says, oh Lord. The Pisces said something there. The Knight of Swords, they're coming back empty-handed. That's why the Ten of Swords is there. They're coming back empty-handed. Empty-handed could literally be with a physical the documents. Empty-handed could be whatever you ask them to go get. Empty-handed could also be like information like about something or someone. They don't know. When I said it, they don't know. King of Pentacles. Scorpio. Taurus. Whatever. Capricorn, males. Somebody's coming back. You sent somebody out to find out this, that, and the third, slacking. You sent somebody else to find out or get this, that, and the third, they're slacking. They're coming back empty-handed or empty-mouthed. That's not even a term. Let's make it up something. They're empty. They don't have information. You sent them to go find out something. They don't have it. But go back again. So the Knight of Swords energy, go back out again. I'm about to send you right back out again to do this, that, and the third. I'm about to send you right back out. Whatever. All right, Aries, let me know how it resonates. Be well. Take care. Bye.